This has major implications on this Miami Heat team, as head coach Erik Spoelstra has called out the sophomore sensation Kel'el Ware again. I'm here to break down brand new quotes, not only from head coach Erik Spoelstra, but as well as responses from Kel'el Ware himself. We'll break down all of that, as well as really what this is stemming from and if this is a major problem between the relationship of Kel'el Ware and the rest of this Heat organization. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, but first, please do remember to scroll down and click the subscribe button if you're a part of the near 90% watching this video not currently subscribed. We appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys, but now let's get to it and break down this major quote from head coach Erik Spoelstra. This is not the first time that head coach Erik Spoelstra is calling out Kel'el Ware this summer. Back in the mid stages of June, Kel'el Ware was called out for his play, and we got a great answer in return when this happened from Kel'el Ware post game after Erik Spoelstra's comments, where he accepted the challenge. He was willing to embark on a more competitive and just efficient way of going about being a professional basketball player in the association. And now, once again, it's now October and the NBA season is right around the corner, and head coach Erik Spoelstra has called out Kel'el Ware again. And this is the quote here. Shout out to Heat Culture on Twitter. As Erik Spoelstra went on to say, quote, "It was a 3-minute segment where it actually impacted the game. The rest of it has to actually impact the game. I'm not looking at statistics. I think everybody is looking at the wrong thing. It's got to impact the game." And that is the end of the quote from head coach Erik Spoelstra, speaking about Kel'el Ware and his play through this point of October and through these training camp games and through these preseason games for the Miami Heat. His first game of training camp, or first game of the preseason, in 17 minutes had 10 points, 9 rebounds, no assists, 1 steal, no blocks, with a plus-minus of +2 while shooting 40% from the field. Now, it's not the greatest game on paper by any means, but then if you look at last night's game, 23 minutes, 18 points, 13 rebounds, no assists, a steal, no blocks, but the plus-minus was -21. This is what Erik Spoelstra was alluding to in those post-game comments. As, yes, he's out there, he's filling up the stat sheet, but how much is coming in non-useful and effective ways? How many are coming in garbage time? How many are not producing baskets for the Miami Heat? And how many are really preventing baskets for the opposing team as that anchor defensively for this Miami Heat organization down near the painted area? Another thing, if you're thinking, well, Bam Adebayo can pick up where Kel'el Ware is really leaving out, defensively at least. Well, he was one of the first 5 to come off the bench and play for this Heat team. Obviously, it's preseason, so they're not all playing meaningful minutes in the sense they're not playing 25-plus minutes a game, 30 minutes a game, but still, they are out there. They're getting in meaningful reps. They're proving that they've improved from last season, and they're going to fit in on this roster and for this organization, not only schematically, but again, culturally, and everything else that goes into it. Now, Zachary Weinberger went on to ask him a great question post-game. Again, he'll be tagged down in the description to keep up to date with a lot of the inside work surrounding the Miami Heat, as Zachary's very good at it. But again, the comments from Kel'el Ware on not only his play, but getting called out from head coach Erik Spoelstra, but also not playing alongside Bam Adebayo yet through these 2 preseason games. In these comments, Ware said that he's okay with not playing next to Bam Adebayo yet. He hasn't given it much thought. He's not stressing over it, which is a good thing. He's not really living and dying on the idea of starting next to Bam Adebayo. He's okay. It seems like an open-minded to coming off the bench as the real center coming off the bench for this Heat team to allow them to still maintain size in a second unit, which is always good, and always good to have versatility as well, with Jovic coming in and out of the starting lineup and possibly adding Ware to that scenario. But also on the ups and downs and just not getting the job done and being called out by Erik Spoelstra, he accepted the challenge once again. Again, he's not the most vocal person. He's not very loud. He's not very stern in the things that he says, but when he does say things, it seems like he is meaningful, and he's not just saying things to get the right answer across the public and through the media. It seems like he's accepting the challenge. It seems like he is more than open to improving his game and becoming a better fit for this Heat team, which is exactly what Heat Nation needs to see. After last season, averaging 9 points, 9.5 points, and just under 8 rebounds a game, and not an assist, there's a lot of improvement for Kel'el Ware, who has great size and stature. Yes, the overall physique, if you will, and overall strength and muscle mass that he maintains may be down in comparison to these other players that are dominant in the league, but with the size and frame and the overall abilities on both sides of the basketball court, we know Kel'el Ware has a great opportunity sitting out in front of him to go out there and be a legitimate piece, not only to this Heat organization, but in the Eastern Conference. Again, we are downplaying an 18-13 game where he had 1 steal, which I'm going to play the highlight for you here because it was absolutely ridiculous. So bear with me just a second. Let me see. Where did I put it? Put it somewhere. Here it is. All right, I'm going to play it. Hopefully it's not too loud.
Of his potential. Ware.
Got it! A rainbow shot after a foul. Oh, Kel'el Ware can tie the game with his free throw.
Hustle right here to break it up and get down the floor. And how about that flip right there as he's...
Not sure how Ware got that to go, but that is a part of that 3-minute period where he was getting steals. He was getting down the floor. He was playing productive basketball that produced winning basketball in ways that was getting defense, good defense played, getting out in transition, and getting easy baskets. Obviously, that finish was not easy. He made it look a bit easy. He was able to go to the free throw line and be efficient there, knocking down 2 of his 3 free throws last night as well. But overall, staying out of foul trouble is great, not putting guys on the line at will, but then it's just not translating in winning basketball. Plus minus is a huge factor when grading overall performances in single game performances. Just despite having a 60-point game, you could still have a negative plus minus. Yes, is it hard to do? But when it happens, it's clear cut and obvious that you simply, you might have scored a lot, but you did not play winning basketball for your team despite all of the statistical production that we may have seen. And that's exactly what Erik Spoelstra was alluding to. Despite Kel'el Ware going out there and having 18-13 in a preseason game, it didn't produce winning basketball. A minus 21 plus minus is abysmal. That means when you were on the floor, in the totality of minutes that you were on the floor, when you exited the game for the final time, you were negative 21 points. When you were on the floor with the Heat, that team was minus 21 points to the opposing team. That is not going to get the job done for anyone. It doesn't matter how great you play, and we're going to need to see Kel'el Ware really fix things in order to gain some of this trust from Erik Spoelstra and the rest of his teammates to really earn that spot in not only in the starting lineup, but a definitive spot coming off the bench where he's playing meaningful minutes in crunch time and allowing this Heat team to run a big lineup and have a lot of flexibility and a lot of abilities on the offensive end while being very, very well put together defensively with the wings they have in Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins playing off of bigs like Jovic, obviously Ware, and Bam Adebayo. This team is really put together correctly. It seems like if they can all click and Kel'el Ware can really find his footing as a professional basketball player alongside very, very good talent, this team could legitimately be in the top of the Eastern Conference. And it would be a surprise to a lot of people. As we all know, we've discussed the overall in wins and loss record set by all the sports books and how it started at 38.5. It moved up to 39 and now 40.5. They're starting to gain a bit more respect in the sense that everyone's observing the fact that the level of talent they have assembled, but still, they are still very, very lowly graded in this entire association, especially in the Southeastern Division with teams like the Hawks, who have improved allegedly this offseason, as well as the Orlando Magic, who beat the hell out of the Heat last season with Paulo. And even when they didn't have Paulo, the Wagner brothers were able to get the job done. With the currently constructed roster, they should be able to compete against these teams with the size they maintain, as well as the overall athleticism that they also maintain. We'll see you guys on the next video of Heat Digest, breaking down the pace of play and the overall difference in the type of play that we saw from this Miami Heat team through the first 2 games and how it looks drastically different and how it could unlock this Miami Heat team going forward. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.